In a week that has seen a flurry of diplomatic activity, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's meeting with Britain's King Charles III has sparked a pointed response from Russian President Vladimir Putin, underscoring the deepening tensions between Moscow and the West. The high-profile encounter, which took place at Buckingham Palace on Tuesday, has been interpreted as a significant moment in the ongoing geopolitical struggle between Russia and NATO-aligned nations, particularly as the conflict in Eastern Europe enters its fourth year. Zelensky's visit to London, his first since the escalation of the Russia-Ukraine conflict in 2022, was widely seen as a symbolic reaffirmation of the strong ties between Ukraine and the United Kingdom. The Ukrainian leader, who has emerged as a global symbol of resistance against Russian aggression, was warmly received by King Charles, a vocal advocate for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The two leaders discussed a range of issues, including humanitarian aid, military support, and long-term strategies for Ukraine's reconstruction and recovery. However, the meeting has drawn sharp criticism from Moscow. In a press briefing on Wednesday, President Putin addressed the encounter, describing it as yet another attempt by the West to isolate Russia and undermine its legitimate security interests. Putin's remarks, delivered with his characteristic blend of calm and assertiveness, highlighted the Kremlin's growing frustration with the sustained support Ukraine has received from Western nations. The so-called alliance between Ukraine and its Western backers is not about peace or stability, Putin stated. It is about perpetuating a narrative that casts Russia as the aggressor while ignoring the root causes of this conflict. The meeting between President Zelensky and King Charles is yet another example of how the West seeks to manipulate global opinion and maintain its hegemony. Putin's response reflects the Kremlin's broader strategy of framing the conflict as a defensive struggle against Western encroachment. Since the outbreak of the war, Russia has sought to justify its actions by claiming that NATO's expansion and Western support for Ukraine pose an existential threat to its security. By criticizing Zelensky's diplomatic overtures, Putin reinforces this narrative, both for domestic and international audiences. Analysts suggest that Putin's reaction is also aimed at rallying domestic support. With Russia's economy under strain due to international sanctions and the prolonged conflict, the Kremlin has sought to maintain public morale by portraying the war as a necessary defense against a hostile West. The meeting between Zelensky and King Charles provides Putin with an opportunity to underscore this narrative, portraying Ukraine as a pawn in a larger geopolitical game. Britain's unwavering support. King Charles understands the stakes of this war, not just for Ukraine, but for the entire world, Zelensky said. His Majesty's commitment to our cause is a testament to the strength of our partnership and the shared values that unite our nations. The meeting also highlighted King Charles's evolving role as a monarch deeply engaged in global affairs. Since ascending to the throne, Charles has used his platform to advocate for environmental sustainability, humanitarian causes, and international cooperation. His meeting with Zelensky signals a continuation of this proactive approach, albeit within the constraints of constitutional monarchy. The king's vocal support for Ukraine has been seen as a reflection of his commitment to upholding democratic values and the rules-based international order. As the dust settles on this latest diplomatic encounter, the question remains, what impact will it have on the trajectory of the Russia-Ukraine conflict? While the meeting itself is unlikely to alter the military dynamics on the ground, it serves as a reminder of the enduring alliances that continue to shape the geopolitical landscape. For Putin, it is a stark reminder that Russia's isolation is far from over. For Zelensky, it is a reaffirmation that Ukraine's fight for sovereignty has not been forgotten. The meeting also comes at a critical juncture in the conflict. Recent reports suggest that both sides are preparing for a potential spring offensive, with Ukraine seeking to capitalize on its gains from the previous year and Russia aiming to consolidate its control over occupied territories. The continued flow of Western military aid, including advanced weaponry and training, has been crucial to Ukraine's efforts to resist Russian aggression. The meeting with King Charles is likely to further bolster the support, with the UK expected to announce additional aid packages in the coming weeks. However, the diplomatic maneuvering is not without risks. Putin's response underscores the potential for further escalation, particularly as Russia seeks to counterbalance Western support for Ukraine. In recent months, Moscow has strengthened its ties with other global powers, including China and Iran, in an effort to mitigate the impact of international sanctions and isolation. The meeting between Zelensky and King Charles may prompt Russia to deepen these alliances, further polarizing the global order. To maintain international support for Ukraine's cause. The encounter with King Charles is likely to enhance Ukraine's standing on the global stage, reinforcing its image as a nation fighting for its survival against overwhelming odds. As the world watches, the stakes remain high. The meeting between Zelensky and King Charles has added another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation, highlighting the enduring divisions between Russia and the West. While the path to peace remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the diplomatic chess game continues, with each move carrying profound implications for the future of Ukraine, Russia, and the broader international community.